G'day, I'm Connie Rose and I'm giving you a message today from Spirit. We're using the elements. The elements are all around us. It's what makes up everything. And we've got our fire, our earth, our water and our air. And I want you to take a moment today to check out which element might be calling you. Now, this is a timeless reading. It's a general reading. So you can come back to this reading whenever you want and feel drawn toward a particular element for that day. And that is your reading. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all those YouTube algorithm things. And let's see what Spirit wants to share with you today. All right, element one, water. You know, I'm a water sign, and a lot of our signs are obviously water signs, earth signs, etc. Now, you've been drawn to the water today. So I know that at times you like to be as deep as the ocean. I know we could use all the wording around water, like, you know, a wave of emotion floods over you, or she was ice cold, or you know, he was frozen, or whatever those words are. Now, I know that this is calling you because it's a time of transition for you. You are transitioning from being stuck to the flow state. And water is the most beautiful when it flows gently, right? We don't like it to build up like a dam wall and it can burst. So Spirit's here to say for you today that you literally are learning how to let go and release and flow. And it's an absolutely amazing time for you because up until now you've found it very difficult how, you know, things might not be going your way. You are feeling out of control. People are saying things that you don't agree with, and you've been like this. So something's happened of late. And if this hasn't happened to you already, trust me, it is about to, where you just surrender to the process. You just surrender and say, look, I can control this, but not so much of that. And really, the only thing we can control is our attitude. So it's really turning inward and having a look at what can you behave like? How can you respond rather than react? So there's a lot of self-analysis going on for you at the moment, and it's a beautiful time. And Spirit's saying that it is time to flow, my sweetheart. And I really feel most of you are already doing this. It's like something just switched and you just went, fuck this, no more. I'm just going to take control now. And in that control is the fact that you surrender. How's that? Let me say those words again. You are going to control this now by surrendering. And that isn't such a control, so to speak. It's more of a decision. Because when you take control by surrendering, you go with the flow and you let go and you release. All right, let's grab some cards for you, sweetheart. All right, firstly, we get the balance card. Then we get your eternal spirit. And the last card we get is divine presence. Now check out that beautiful still water. Okay. All right. Okay, so the first one, balance, centered energy and self-care. Now this is what really has driven you to get here. It's a point of, like, you know, whether or not it was physical, mental, spiritual health was being jeopardized by you always being pushed and pulled by other people's behaviors and reactions or whatever that may be. So your main focus here is to better your health. Like, again, I said, like I said, whether it be mind, body or spirit, it doesn't matter, but it's health. You knew that you had to make a change and you have done that. There's still a few little loose ends to be tightened, to be tied, and that's more just commitment and schedule, right? Commitment and schedule, because you're choosing yourself now, but it's still just a little bit unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar. It's uncharted waters, I would say, where you're actually choosing yourself. And it's a balancing act. So Spirit's here to say they've got you, and just keep going in the direction you're going, because you've really made big changes. Now, people around you may not have seen this just yet, but you've already done it inside. And once you've made those decisions, watch the ripple effect of what happens next. And that's what's all going on with you. Now, the next card you get is the Eternal Spirit. Now, this is just this simple knowing where it's almost like something just switched on in you, where you've gone, enough, no more. I deserve better. I need to choose me. You know, all those little light bulb moments. And that's your relationship with Spirit, because it was almost like you were quiet for a moment to receive that download. Now, you may very well think it was you that went, well, no, I just had enough. But Spirit's here to say it was them egging you on. It's almost like you were pushed nearly over the brink, whether it be, you know, some type of breakdown, so to speak. But a breakdown is always the same as a breakthrough in my mind. And this is what they're showing you. So it was like you were pushed to the brink, like you were at a crossroad. You had no choice whether or not you were going down or you were going to do something about it. And you chose life. You chose you. And Spirit's saying you're welcome, because they literally pushed you to the brink for you to get that message, because you kept having little hiccups along the way. And you'd go, oh, that's all right. You get over it. And you go, oh, thank God for that. And, you know, you keep moving. But they were little warning signs. And then you got to the point where it was like, boom, in your face. If you don't hear us right now, it's not going to be pretty. And you've chosen to go, okay, I hear you now. So that's what the universe and Spirit does for us. They give us little signs and synchronicities along the way for us to get the message. So, for example, we might trip over and stub our toe, or we might drop our phone and break it, or we might, I don't know, just little misfortunes, so to speak, that are happening to us. But really they're happening for us, because it's trying to slow us back down, or it's trying to push us into a different way of life. So you get all these little mishaps, and what they are there for is for us to stop and reevaluate. But what you were doing was going, oh, well, I'll just move on from it. Oh, damn it. Oh, you know, and just sort of making excuses and keep moving. But then Spirit gave you one, a big push. And you now have taken that on board. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to you, because Spirit's very, very proud of you. And that was a massive download, because you stopped for a moment and Spirit gave that to you. And the next one is the Divine Presence, the force of love and creation. You're literally, it's almost like you've got this clear slate now. But I want you to take a moment to see your reflection, whether it not be in this water, but in a mirror. But look at yourself and know that up until now, everything you've gone through is exactly divine. Doesn't feel that way, but it is. And get to know who you have become. It's almost like I want you to look into the mirror and look at yourself and go, I am looking a bit different. You may have an extra line, you know. We're all getting older. You may see yourself, you might see that inner child in your eyes. So there's a lot happening for you. Massive transformation, massive transition, massive awakening. And it's a really beautiful time. But you, my darling, are flowing. You're flowing regardless of how you feel or see it. I just know. If you were drawn to this reading today, you are flowing. And if you're not, you're about to. And Spirit's saying, well done. Well done for the journey. Keep going. Keep choosing you. And you cannot get that wrong. And that is your reading for the beautiful water element. All right, the earth element. Wow. If you were drawn to this, I'm just feeling into this energy. I just need a moment. Because I just did the water element and I've just shifted into the earth energy, and it's very different. And I feel like there's a little bit of grief that might be coming up for you here. a little bit of loss. It feels recent. It may not be, but it feels recent. Sometimes when we lose a loved one, it may be many years, but every day we relive it like it's today. And it feels recent. So it may very well be recent or just something that's been a while, but you keep reliving it like it's recent. So I want to talk about loss. I want to talk about grief. Now, in loss and grief, and I'm playing with my ring, so it may very well be a partner here. And this is a general reading, so please just take what resonates. But I know that I'm playing with my ring, so for some of you, that would make sense. Now, the thing with grief is it's so heavy and it can carry us in a very heavy way. Our shoulders can become quite heavy, our arms like almost disconnected from our bodies. And I know that there's something here that's missing. There's a part of you that's missing. But I also know that when we connect with Earth, Mother Gaia, she will carry us. She will help us feel whole again. Because when people die, they just move on from the human existence, but they actually don't vanish, if that makes sense. So I feel like I want to talk about with you losing loved ones. Now, it may very well not be to death. It may be just that they've moved on, but there's something in you that is stopping you from really harnessing the joy life offers. So it could be just that you've been hurt from a past relationship, so you don't want to get close to anyone because you want to, want to hold on to that pain. Now, a lot of this is a subconscious thing because you don't choose to want to hurt. But in this energy, straight away, I can feel the heaviness of feeling like somebody's left you. Like I said, they may or may not be passed over, but that's what it feels like. So there's this energy that you may very well be reliving, that you've been abandoned, you're not good enough. And this could be many years old, this could be recent, it doesn't matter, but it feels like it's recent energy, so you're living it like it's just happened. Now, Mother Gaia is calling you. Spirit's saying that Earth connection is very important for you. Very, very important for you. I know a few years back I had heavy metal toxicity and I was very unwell. And one day I had a client and I had to say I had a migraine for them to go because I actually couldn't write. All of a sudden my hand went like this and my legs were, and they left and I got up and I couldn't walk properly. And this just came out of the blue as far as I was concerned. What had happened was that, 6 months later, I found out that I had leaking out amalgam fillings. So my body just went to shit. My eyes were puffy every morning, like more puffy than this. It is morning here right now. But they were puffy, like closed over. I took myself to emergency. There were so many things that I was searching for and I couldn't find it. But I tell you one thing, through all of that, before I had my answers, I would lie on the grass and I would lie there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And every time I would feel normal afterwards, even though I was going through such a bad illness at the time. Nobody gave me answers. Doctors didn't tell me, but I knew. Tell me you can't know that. But you know yourself. But you're holding on to pain. You're holding on to abandonment. You're holding on to past sadness and grief. But Mother Spirit's coming to say, please use nature. Please lie on the earth because she will draw out the heaviness for you and you will start feeling the joy again. Now, when someone passes away or somebody leaves us, there's always a part of us that dies with them. But life still goes on and life is here for you to grab by the frickin' balls and make it your own. You're allowed. And this is your permission. This is your sign. It's like you've been looking for a sign, but feeling too sad to receive it. But hey, she's here. Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, she's here wanting to take away your heaviness. Okay, so let's get you a couple of cards. We've got the Beneath the Surface, Prophets, and Ancient Seers, and Letting Go of Urgency. Okay. So there's a lot going on for you, and a lot of people don't actually know it. So you've got the beneath the surface, and we all know about that iceberg analogy, right? It's like, is it 10% above the water and 90% below? You've got a lot of stuff below, and you don't want to be a downer. You don't want to be someone who's, airing your laundry, all that sort of stuff. But Spirit's saying they hear you, they see you, and it's completely understandable that you feel this way. And if this isn't resonating with you, it's almost like Spirit says, well, look for these parts that you've pushed down that are ready to come up. And do something with that. It might be that you just want to lie on the earth, or you want to go to a sound healing potentially, or you want to have a Reiki or a tapping session, or just something where you are addressing what is in your body. It's time to let it up and out. Okay, just got a text message, I'm reading it. So there's something that's still unknown within you that you will find as you process this. There'll be like an aha moment where you can just release and let it go. And that is coming very soon, very soon. This is actually a really nice reading, just so you know. It's an acknowledgement. It's like Spirit saying, you have every right to feel this way, but now it's time to let yourself live and give yourself permission to step forward. The next card you get is the Prophets and Ancient Seers. Now, there's some decisions to be made. There's some definite decisions to be made, but you know what? You're very intuitive. So when you close your eyes and visualize something that you want to attract, you tend to actually create that. So just be very mindful of where you're putting your focus, because your visions usually do come to light. But it's time that you start shifting those visions to be things that you want rather than what you don't want, and letting go of urgency. It's like you've always said, well, it's always been this way, so it's always going to be that way. And now again, Spirit's stepping in to say, well, no, it's just always been that way because you've allowed it, or it's always been that way because you've expected it, or it's always been that way because you just had no energy to change it. And the thing is, it's all changing now for you. It's all like shaking away. So, there might be some movement exercise that you can do, just even shake and let the heaviness out. Walking, nature, trees, hug a tree, sit on the land. But Mother Gaia is here to say, please give me your burdens. Because that, my darling, is your reading, because it's time now for you to flush that away, take a big breath and chin up and step forward. And if you need some assistance, please reach out. But you've got this. And that is your reading for the earth element. All right, fiery, fiery, fiery. I love the fire element. The fire element brings passion. The fire element brings sometimes anger, aggression, but it brings just that energy that is very contagious. So I know that you are being drawn to this fire because you're ready to really bring something to light. You're ready to deliver the next level of who you are. You're ready to show up and become this new version of yourself. And it's very, very scary, but it's very super exciting because you're at a crossroad now that you either show up or you just keep doing what you're doing. But there's no real, it's fine, but fine's just not good enough for you anymore. You want exciting, you want passionate, you want that that flare. And I just see this beautiful flame around you because that passion has awaken in your belly for that next best thing. Now, some of you don't know what this is yet, but that's okay, because most manifesting is putting out what you truly desire, but not knowing exactly what that might be, or not knowing exactly how that's going to happen, but trusting that it will. So it could very well be that you just want more laughter. You want more acknowledgement. You want more recognition. You want more communication. You want more love, whatever it might be. So it's simple as that. It's almost like I've got this wand and I want to go like, so you put out what it is that you desire, but you say it like you have it and you set it free. And then you trust. Because it's all about manifesting for you at the moment. It's all about getting clear with what you desire. And if you don't have, I don't want all the details. I don't want all the details. This is not what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying that you simply put out your order and sit back and you lift that energy of yours. So I know that movement is very important for you. I know that whether you go for a walk or a jog, or take the dog for a walk, or push the kids on the swings, or whatever, the body needs to move, because you're almost like a ticking time bomb in this energy. And when I say ticking time bomb, I don't want you to have this passion turn into frustration because things aren't going quick enough for you. So you need to be shaking the energy out. I actually said this in one of the other readings also, something similar to moving the energy. All right, let's get you some cards because it's very exciting. So whatever you do next is part of the big plan. It's part of your purpose. It's not something small that's just going to, shift your energy and make you feel better. It's actually part of your life purpose. You know what? There is a life purpose deck. I'm going to get that. I want to get that for you. I pulled them out and went, no, that's not right for this reading. I'll do another one, life purpose, another time. And here we are. It's yours. All right, let's go. This one. Family. Family is where it's at. Loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. So everything that you do, and I'll show you the card, everything that you do to be on purpose is for the people you love. Aren't you a delight? Aren't you a delight? This is not a selfish act at all. Sure, it gives you the joy and it gives you the passion and it brings all of that, but ultimately it is for them, which makes it so much more for you. And I get that and I see that. So that's very cool. All right. Let's see what else there is for you. Fire. An emotional desert. That's as hot as the fire, isn't it? Connections. And Archangel Raguel. Yeah. Justice, harmony, solutions. Okay. So you're at a point right now where it's all changing and it is unfamiliar. But there's a knowing and a sense of security in that. So it's like you haven't been here before. You haven't felt this way before, but it feels familiar, yet it's unfamiliar. So it's sort of a little bit contradictory energy. So don't be surprised if you're feeling confused, because it makes sense, because as I tune into you, I'm feeling it. So I know that's what Spirit's giving us. Now, up until now, with all this energy that you've had, it's been hard to put it into words. You know what you want to do, but you just, it's hard to put in words, or the people you're talking to don't get it, or you can't explain yourself right. And it's very isolating. So you end up shutting down and you just keep your dreams to yourself. So you've been in this isolation, this emotional desert, just, by yourself. I almost get a vision of the, what are those big things that roll in the desert? Oh, you know what? When I listen to this later, I'll be like yelling at myself going, it's called a rara. What is it? No. Anyway, so those things that just go across the road in a desert. You know, that's what I'm getting. There's just this quiet, this silence, because you kept it all to yourself. But you're getting to the point now where you're brave enough to start talking to those ones around you. Now, being very selective again, you don't just go to talk to anybody, because you can feel the resistance in the energy when you go to say something that doesn't sit right with someone. Straight away you go, ooh, and then you shut down. Now that you can feel, because you're very intuitive, so you'll go to the right people to talk about this, because you've got the beautiful green crystal here. It's like emerald or something very special. Green's all about abundance and all about love and the heart space. And you're reaching out to let your loved ones know what you're doing. And actions speak louder than words. So let them know as you're doing it, rather than announce it before you do it. All right, because that's going to take the pressure off for you. And you're going to be very much in sync. Don't put yourself under too much pressure here, because the pressure will slow you down. I feel like I'm talking to myself at the moment. The pressure does slow you down. It helps you feel a little bit inadequate, or it's not going quick enough, or you're not doing it as good. And but there's a lot of, because you've thought about this long enough, you're going to know the right way to do it. And if for any reason there's things that need to be tweaked, you just tweak it along the way. You just tweak it along the way. Now, this can just be your relationships in life. You know, you're working on a relationship purely because you want your friends and family around you to be more comfortable, which is an interesting thing to do. But it's all about you. It's all about how you feel, because when you're feeling loved and connected around you, they're going to as well. They're going to as well. I feel like I need to grab you another card, sweetheart. And I'm going to pull these ones. These are, I think, the, what are they? Mermaids. Mermaids and dolphins. I don't tend to use these ones often, but I felt like, because we're doing the elements, you can check in with these guys. All right. And it's synchronicity. Of course it is. And it says, your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. So just expect. So put out what it is that you desire, trust and expect it to come. But in that, when you do speak to the people around you, talk to them about things that you've already done. As in, you want maybe some feedback, if you want feedback, a little bit of a powwow type of thing. But guide them as to what you want, because I don't want you to shy away. I don't want you to shy away with some powerful ideas. I want you to dream big. You've got the, you know, the big fire and the passion coming up. So when you address someone, guide them as to what you need from them. For instance, when I talk to my husband, sometimes I say, I'm just downloading. I don't actually want your opinion. And he'll go, great. And I'll go, blah, blah, blah. He'll go, you done? I'm like, yes. Great. And then I feel good. Other times I go, I need your opinion, or what do you think? Before I give, because there's nothing worse than going and sharing something with someone just because you want to share it with them, and then they come back with all these pointers and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, what are you saying? And I didn't want that. I just wanted to tell you what I was doing, because those pointers can put you into doubt, and then you can feel like your idea is not great again. And it is. You're onto something. You're onto something. So know that Spirit is here to help you build that independence, because it's all about you, which then helps your friends and family. It's not about seeing what they need and then you doing it. That's backwards. That's going to slow you down. So know that Spirit's here. Know that you're onto something. And you, my darling, are a superstar. Keep it up. And that is your reading for the beautiful fire element. All right, the wind element. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Just sitting in your energy as I'm shuffling these cards. I'm feeling a little bit disconnected. I'm feeling a little bit cold. I'm feeling a little bit alone. A little bit alone in this energy. Throwing cards down, so it gives me a second. And it's 3, so these are yours. Confusion. First one is confusion. Archangel Faniel, Phanuel, and Prophets and Ancient Seers. Now, this one was in another reading before. You've got a lot of options at the moment, but it feels as though you're not seeing any of them as an option. So working with clients for many years, it's been interesting because I know that everybody's always got choices. Everybody's always got options. But when we don't like what that choice or that option is, we say we're out of options. We're out of choices. And I feel as though Spirit's here guiding you accordingly. And the options that are open to you are not necessarily ones that you wish to take. So that brings the confusion. So, where are you at the moment? You've actually got a chance to start all over right now. You actually can clear the slate with where you're at, whether this be just your thoughts, whether this be your health regime, whether this be a relationship, a employment opportunity, whatever it might be. You're at a point now that Archangel Phanuel gives you hope, new beginnings. So it's not all over yet. It's not all over. You're actually just at the beginning again. And at the beginning, sometimes we feel as if we're, not good enough. And why are we here again at this age? And we ask all these big questions. And it's almost like, when a grade 6er goes to year 7 and all of a sudden they're a baby again in a big school. Well, it feels as though that's happening with you. You're going back to the start, but at a next level. Now, I get that you're feeling the way you are, but remember that you're at a next level. You're not actually at the start. And that's what Spirit really needs you to know, because you're wasting a lot of energy feeling into the lack mentality. But the good news is you've got a lot of archangels that are swooping on in to let you know that the storm is calming, because this is the wind element, right? Because I can feel it. I can hear it. It's been quite tumultuous. I don't think I've ever said that word in my life, but here it is. It's funny, because when you tune into Spirit, you get given words and all the rest of it. And later on I go and Google it, go, what was that? Tumultuous. So I don't know if you're doing little spells, little crystal grids, little things like that, because you're really good at them. And it's something that you might want to do. I feel like I'm a bit of a witchy poo in your energy. But I want to harness that to make it bigger and not as reserved. I feel like you're keeping all of this sort of stuff to yourself. So you'll go and put out an order to the universe for something, and then you'll sort of go, oh no, I don't want that. So I just feel like I need to harness your energy, bring you back, because this wind, this whirlwind that you've been on has been a little bit messy in your head. But Spirit's here to say, you know what? All right, enough already. Let's do the clean slate. They also want me to get some another card for you to start fresh. So at first, there's the acknowledgement of what you've been coping with this sort of stuff. And it's been very internal. It's not something that you've, that sometimes you're aware of even. But there's the pay attention. And it says, notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So you're opening your connection very much so with spirit. I know that you're receiving messages, but trying to, articulate what that means. Okay, I just saw something then, and I'm trying to, I'll just see it and say it. I just saw, I've got my Reiki table just over here. I'm in my studio doing this video right now. And I saw like someone getting a massage on my table. There was someone actually lying there, and it was a woman, and she had long brown hair, and that might resonate with someone, but it could simply be that it's time that you go and receive some love. And I feel like touch is what it needs to be, whether it be, a nice massage. It could be just one of those $30 ones or whatever in the supermarket, where you go there and just get a head massage. I always walk past those. I never stop. Maybe I should. But I feel like there's a bit of manipulation needed, whether it be your neck or your back, because there's a lot of energy that's stuck in your body. So it's more like a body work. That's what I want to say. Body work that needs to be done with you, because there's a lot of messages that you've been getting, but you're not sure what to do with them. But they're repetitive. And Spirit's trying to communicate with you at the moment. But because it could even be physical pain for some of you. Because you're in the physical pain, it's very hard for you to communicate. It's very hard for you to receive the messages clearly. So some sort of spirit or intuition work, classes, circles, that sort of thing would be very beneficial for you. And look, you might already do this work, and if you do, seek out a mentor, because you're going to next places. I don't want you to just say that you're here and you're happy to be here, because we always have to grow. Now, just recently I sought after another psychic medium that I've known for many years to help me be able to connect once a month, and we can just debrief and work through it, because I have a lot of spiritual friends. I have a very supportive family, but the conversations that I want to go to sometimes don't make sense to other people because they're not doing this work. And I know with you it's similar. And it might not be that you're doing this work specifically, but whatever you're doing, it's very hard for you to feel connected with people around you, because it's sort of like you're just sort of almost blowing in the wind, let's say. And you don't want to upset anybody, so you sort of just do your thing and just on you go. But it's time that you start finding someone that you can trust to be able to put your stuff somewhere, to debrief, to, let everything out. And yeah, body work is very important. Even pain management for some of you, whatever that looks like. But definitely communication. All right, then. Okay. I'm just going to pull one more card for you guys. The life purpose deck again, just to give you a bit of an indication as to, and again, general reading, take what resonates. And don't forget to have a look in my description with all my upcoming events, because there may be something there that would be of interest to you. We've got books. So yeah, I feel like there's a bit of study. There's a bit of the next level for you, because it's not complacent. You haven't become complacent, but you've become safe in where you're at. And that's what's confusing you, because you need to stimulate. And start letting yourself, blow in the breeze, I just get the wind is just, the storm has calmed down, but the breeze is still there, and let it take you, because the synchronicities, that things are lining up for you. And when you work on your physical, your vehicle, your body, you're going to be more receptive to hearing these synchronicities and seeing what's being offered to you. And yeah, this is very much about studying and keep learning. Don't become stale. That is your reading for the beautiful wind element. Thank you very much for tuning in, you gorgeous souls. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share and all those algorithm things. And please be sure to check out my description below. with my upcoming events. I have a beautiful conscious couples retreat coming up the 11th of August in Hillsville in Victoria. And that's the place for relationships to grow and reconnect, and a few other things as well. So take a look, take care. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Be kind to others, but especially be kind to yourself. Peace out.